The Pundits Corner. Yo, what's up? What's happening? Welcome back to another episode of the Pundits Corner. All things football, the Pundits Corner. You know how it goes, how we do it up in this channel. We're going to be reacting and reviewing the latest fixtures from the Champions League quarterfinals, which took place last night. And as you can tell, I'm wearing black to commiserate or commemorate Chelsea's season, as it is a funeral, as we say goodbye to Champions League for at least a minimum of 500 days. You do the math. I don't know how long that is. That's at least 18 months minimum. So we're going to be going through the review of that game, Chelsea and Real Madrid. Real Madrid absolutely outclassed us. Once again, we were outclassed at the bridge. That's the story of our season. We've been getting outclassed left, right and center. As well as we're going to be talking about the other quarterfinal fixture between AC Milan and Napoli. So we're going to start off with that one real quickly. We're going to touch on that fixture, that match that took place at the Stadio Maradona, the home venue for Napoli. And it was a surprise. It was honestly a surprise. The fact that Milan was strong enough and they held it out and they held their nerve and they went through. They beat Napoli by a score of, well, it was 1-1 on the night, and overall it was 2-1 on aggregate. Napoli missed a penalty on the game, man. In that game, Napoli missed a penalty. My man Vishka Varanskhelia, the man that has taken this season by storm. He's taken the footballing world by storm. He has taken the Serie A by storm. Napoli as a whole have had a fantastic season, which has just crumbled when it matters most. Well, they will win the Serie A, they will win the Italian league, but I mean, getting drawn on the section where they were, you know, there was two sides to the draw quarterfinal. There were four strong teams where we found ourselves: Chelsea, Real, Man City and Bayern. That was a very tough side. And then there was Napoli's side, where there was Napoli, AC Milan, Inter Milan and Benfica. I mean, Napoli would have been fancying their chances to get through that game. I mean, it was I mean, not to say nothing comes easy in the Champions League. Every match is difficult, every match is hard, but I mean, based off of their form, based off of their skill and the players that they had and the type of season they were having, it's really somewhat of a shock. Because if you look at the Serie A table, you'll see that Milan is quite a way away behind. They're like all the way back there. You know what I'm saying? Let's appreciate this view for 1 second. You know, us here at All Things Football, the Pundits Corner, we like to do it off the cuff and on the spot. You know, there's no corner which is safe. Every corner you find pundits there. The pundits are always there. The supreme pundit, myself, Stewie TV, he is there in every corner. No corner is safe. The pundits are there. So real surprise for Napoli to be knocked out, unfortunately for them, in front of their home fans at the Stadio Maradona. I was surprised Victor didn't really start the game. If I'm mistaken, please correct me on the comments, feel free. But he scored. At least he showed face. He saved face and scored a goal that made it 1-1 on the night. But ultimately, that proved to be not enough for Napoli, as they were knocked out of the quarterfinal by AC Milan. And AC Milan will now go on to the semi-final, where they await tonight's winners between their city rivals Inter Milan and Benfica. The winner of that game will meet AC Milan in the final. And there's a mouth-watering prospect of one of my favorite all-time games, La Derby della Madolina. You gotta do this. You gotta hit it with this one. La Derby della Madolina between AC Milan, Inter Milan, city rivals. That's kind of like Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates. That is like the game in Milan. To those who know in the football world, La Derby della Madonnina is one of the most iconic games of all time, and I think it's going to be quite beautiful. The fact that this is the San Siro, the stadium which they play at, they both share that stadium. That stadium has got a lot of history, it's got a lot of background, it's got a lot of, history in general, and that stadium will be demolished and they will build a new one. So it's beautiful. It could be beautiful, bearing in mind that Inter still have to see through their 2-0 lead which they amassed in the first leg against Benfica. So there could be a mouth-watering semi-final there, or Benfica could ruin the party and spoil the cards and spoil the party by interrupting La Derby della Madonnina, which will be very special in the semi-final of the Champions League. That is minerals, guys. That is proper minerals. So that having been said, that having been done, congrats to Milan. I didn't expect it, but shout out to Milan. They made it through, and they bossed it. They bossed the game. I guess they used their experience, or let me not say experience, because Milan, this is their first semi-final in 13 years, since 07. I don't know how long that is. That's approximately 13 years, around there. That is a long time. So I guess they use their heritage. Remember, Milan, AC Milan is the second most successful team in the Champions League after Real Madrid. Real Madrid have got 14 titles. Milan have got 7 titles. So they use their heritage to outclass on the night and over the 2 ties, plus the recent league game in the Serie A where they played. Remember, they played each other 3 times in 17 days. Once in the league where Milan bodied them 4-0 at Stadio Maradona. They won the first leg of the Champions League quarterfinal, and then they drew the second leg. So Milan overall bossing them, and they just use their heritage and their know-how in the Champions League, and they got the job done. So congratulations to Milan, commiserations to Napoli. Now we move on to more commiserations as we enter the burial ground of Chelsea Football Club. This is where we will be buried for this season. As for this season, it's done for us. It's absolutely done. This was the only remaining saving grace that we had left. At this point, it's all over. It's all done for. I mean, we had hope. I had hope. You saw my preview game, or rather my preview video yesterday, which dropped. Apologies for the delay. We are experiencing load shedding, but we shall prevail. So in my preview video, you saw that I had an optimistic prediction and I had a realistic prediction. Sorry. So in my optimism, obviously being a fan, I hoped for a win. My hopes were not too high because I knew that we haven't been good. We are not in the right frame of mind or in the right temperament or form going into the game against El Rey, the kings of the Champions League. They absolutely outclassed us. It was way too easy for them. I mean, it was just like a walk in the park. It was so sad to see my beloved Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, where we've had some incredible comebacks over the years. We've written some incredible stories over the years in the Champions League, but we absolutely got trounced. It was 2-0 on the night, 4-0 overall on aggregate. And just my overall thoughts on the game, I thought that Madrid were they were just a step ahead, man. They were too good. We played okay. Let's to be fair, we played okay. We were not awful. That's just me, my opinion. Other Chelsea fans may beg to differ. We were not awful. We were not bad, but we just lack the cutting edge up front. I mean, I'm gonna talk about Lampard real quickly. Frank Lampard is an absolute legend in Chelsea. Chelsea is his house. Stamford Bridge is literally his house. But I must say, my man Frank is really putting a dent on his legacy at Chelsea. He's really tarnishing his legacy at Chelsea. His name is being tarnished. Like them special nights back in the day where we used to watch Frank Lampard save us from the dead, they're a distant memory now. Now what we remember is Frank Lampard playing an absolutely dismal, abysmal formation. He played a 3-5-2, I think it was. It was not enough. Ultimately, he should have learned his lesson from the first leg because there was not enough width, I would say, in our attacks. But to be fair, the first leg was away, so Madrid had the more oomph in that game because they're playing at home. So in this game, at the Bridge, we were at home, so we played a little bit better just based off of the fact that we were playing at home. We played alright. I wouldn't say it was dazzling. I would give it like a 4 or 5, a 5 out of 10, if not a 4. So we played alright. We moved the ball okay. Havertz dropped into his little pockets, but ultimately there was no cutting edge. We need a Victor Osimhen. We need a Ivan Toney. I've been crying out for Ivan Toney because I know Victor Osimhen in the summer he's going to be very, very much hunted, but his price tag might be a little bit too much. I think he's valued at around 100 million or 120 million, and based off of how much I know, the Clear Lake and the Todd Bowleys, our owners, have got money, but they've taken a loss. First of all, we won't be in the Champions League next season as it stands. We are 12th on the log. In the league table, we are 12th. So we can kiss Champions League goodbye. Mwah. Gone. Peace out. Like your ex. So it's done for. We will not be in Europe next season. Personally, I prefer that. So just to quickly finish on Lampard. Lampard, sorry mate, you've got to go back. You've got to be a pundit, bro. Come to the pundits corner, bro. You don't need to be a coach, bro. You just need to be a pundit, review games, give your opinion, give your 2 cents, because clearly being on that touchline is too much for you. You're getting outclassed, outsmarted every single week. I mean, he's the first manager in Chelsea history to lose his first 4 games. His first 4 games, he lost. So it's just bad. It's just all around bad. So my man Frank, fortunately enough, he's only there until the end of the season as the owners and the Chelsea hierarchy look for that proper replacement, because that decision is going to be very pivotal in how Chelsea go into the next season, because we're not going to have any Champions League football. I don't want us to go to Europa League. I most definitely do not want us to go to Conference League. No. I don't want. I don't want us to go there because it's just going to be added games and we don't need that. What we need is a revamp. We need to sell players. Unfortunately, there's a lot of players there in Chelsea squad. That squad needs to get trimmed down. There needs to be a lot of sales. And we just need to focus on domestic football. We need to focus on the league. We need to focus on the FA Cup. And we need to focus on the League Cup. That's all. Because we do not deserve European football. Based off of this season, which has been an absolutely bad season. Absolutely bad season. We do not deserve Champions League. So we need to regroup. Chelsea basically is like a rich man who lost everything. If you know the Bible, you've read the story about Job. Job lost everything. I encourage you to read the Bible and to read that story. It's a very, very wonderful story. That is how Chelsea is right now. We have lost everything. We have lost our pride. We have lost our dignity. It is embarrassing to be a Chelsea fan these days. I mean, it's absolutely embarrassing, especially when you are like me. I tell people I'm a Chelsea fan, so people know when they see me, you are. So it's absolutely embarrassing. So we've lost everything. We've lost the Champions League. We've lost the league. We've lost the top 4. So what we need to do is start from the bottom going up. So next season, no Champions League, no European football, no prestigious football in Europe, like I've just said. Let us focus on the league. Let us regroup. Let us sell the players that don't need to be there, and let us start afresh. So that is what we need. So all in all, congratulations to Madrid. I must say, El Rey did it again. They absolutely just, I mean, playing the way Frank did against Ancelotti was just schoolboy errors, schoolboy stuff. It was like a grade 8 playing against someone in his final year in varsity. So it was just an absolute horror show. So that's the preview, or rather the review, sorry for that. That's the review of the matches last night, where we have had AC Milan and Real Madrid going through to the semi-finals, where they will await the winners of today's games. Today we've got Man City and Bayern second leg. I predict Man City to go through, as I did yesterday, and Benfica and Benfica and Inter Milan. I almost said AC Milan. Benfica and Inter Milan will contest the other quarterfinal to see who goes on to the semis. So once again, thank you so much for watching. This was All Things Football, the Pundits Corner.